Hi, welcome all. Hi, hi Shweta. Hi, hi all, welcome. I think we are starting in another 2 minutes time frame. Yes, I think in 2 minutes. Hi, so welcome all. Welcome. I can see lots of Instagram. Yes, I can see. Hi Ruchika. Hi Pooja. Hi. So we are starting in a minute. Divya is joining us. So today's session is all about students are concerned about their university admissions, and specifically admitted students are concerned about the upcoming sessions, whether universities are actually running the upcoming sessions or not. And in common, students are concerned about their university admissions. So we are covering the information, and my colleague Divya Gandre is joining us. So students are asking us the questions, parents are asking questions, and we are covering those questions in today's live session. So I think Divya is there, so we shall start in a minute or two again. Let me quickly check the settings. Yes, I think Divya is there. Hi all, hi. I think
Hi
Divya is
Vinayak,
joining
you
us.
see,
Hi. I think I'm not. I'm unable to see you right now. Can you please check again? Hi all. So people who have just joined, my name is Vinayak. I'm a senior student success manager at Ascent Overseas Education. And in today's Instagram live, we are covering students' questions on COVID 2019 pandemic. Apart from that, we are covering some questions on parents' end. What kind of information do you have regarding the admitted students and regarding the students who are applying for upcoming intake?
can you see me?
Quickly, we are joining in. I think Divya is
Yeah,
joining.
yeah, yeah.
So, while students who have questions uh, can ask their questions in comment box. It's because we won't be able to hear you properly. But you can ask the questions in comment box, and we would be happy to answer the questions post the session. Questions for your understanding, and I'm sure your questions are from on the similar lines. So once Divya is there, we'll start the session immediately. Wow, I can still see the increase in audience. Yes, it's right. Hi Nikhil, how are you? Hi Ameya, how are you? How are you doing?
Hi Vinayak.
There, there she is. Hi Divya, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Work from home, and we are doing a live session today for our company Advent Overseas Education, and covering the questions asked by parents and students. So, people who have just joined, rather the students who have just joined, the agenda of today's live session is to give you information on current pandemic or the situation happening abroad because of the outbreak of coronavirus disease. And at the same time, if you have any questions, you can just ask at the comment box, and I'll be happy to answer those questions. Uh,
So we'll start.
Yeah, we'll start. So I'll ask you questions, Divya, if you can brief us or other the students. First of all, why students are considering abroad options? Why not India?
So here's why you should consider studying abroad, because it gives you an international exposure. It gives you a competitive edge over the others. The universities abroad also have a very flexible curriculum, and which gives you a very enriching experience. And yeah, these are various reasons that really help you a lot when it comes to employment also.
And what do you think about the current situation? Students should again consider their plans or reconsider, or they should drop their plans. What is your take on it,
People who are
especially
really
apart
keen on
from COVID-19?
people who are students who are really keen on studying abroad, they should continue to apply to the universities by getting in touch with us through phone calls, text messages, Skype, and other mediums. And they can do their online applications. By the time they will receive their offers from the universities, if the impact of the COVID-19 has reduced, they can go ahead with their plans of studying abroad. They can go ahead with the universities, and in case not, in that case they can defer the admissions to the next available intake, which is going to be Jan, or yeah, I mean it depends on the country wise universities.
I understand. So, what about the standardized test examination, especially when it comes to English proficiency? Those are required by most of the countries' admissions department. And
Hopefully,
considering the lockdown at this stage, what is your take on IELTS? It's because the centers are closed and students are not able to go for the testings.
right. So hopefully the IELTS test centers would be functional from May onwards. If not, students can do the online coaching at the Ascent Overseas Education British Council certified test centers. I think the test dates for the month of May are the slots are already open for the 2nd, 7th, 9th, 16th, 21st, and 16th. Uh,
Okay. And what about the students who are currently studying in most of the universities in UK, Australia, USA? What about the situation and what kind of issues they are facing?
So the students who are already studying abroad, the universities, they should firstly get in touch with the universities for any kind of issues they have pertaining to the online lectures or accommodation issues or the exam dates, etc. And most of the universities are conducting the lectures online. And so, I mean, they should remember that communication is the key basically, and be it the university, be it their family, it is important that they should communicate, and yeah, that's the main key point.
I understand. So families are more concerned about students who are already studying there. I happen to meet a couple of parents in my office and before the lockdown, and they were concerned about whether we should call him back here in India. So I said, don't worry about that. Universities have started taking the lectures online, so it should not be a concerning at all, and they are happy there. It's just the key is to stay at home and stay safe. Moving
Yeah, so
ahead with this.
they should just and be safe.
Yes. What about the stayback options? So students are concerned about whether they'll be able to get the stayback or not. It's because right after pandemic, like most of the top destinations are expecting a recession, and what will happen in that case?
Right. So not all, but most of the countries do offer a stay back option. For example, US and Canada, they offer 3 years stay back. UK, Ireland, they offer 2 years of PSW. And during this time, you can work over there. You can recover a lot of your tuition fees and your living expenses. So most countries do offer a post-W, a PSW, a stay back work option.
Yes, and just to add on to this, students who are studying in states, uh, the Department of State has already given you an opportunity to file a petition so that you can extend your you can extend your OPT period, or you will get a benefits out of it. It's because of the current situation, and that's the option you have. If in case any students who are like graduating this summer, this is a key information for you. I'm sure you have this information delivered by the International Student Office to you. The next is what about the lectures? If students are if students are restricted to join, or rather to come to the countries like by countries external ministry, external affairs ministry. So what about those students? Are they losing out on any options? Are there universities who are providing online lectures?
So the universities are certainly very concerned about the health and the welfare of the students, and keeping that in mind, they are conducting the lectures online. Everybody is the universities are operating totally digitally, and they are providing all kind of help and extending all kind of information to the students. So the lectures are conducted online, but it is important that the students do get in touch with the universities for the online lecture schedules and all the information.
Yes, I think that's the option given by most of the institutions, that you can take first semester online. That's through live sessions, and most of the credits are getting covered in your total degree duration or degree credits completion. So that's the good option, and that comes to the next question. That leads to rather next question. What about the cost factor? I mean, if they are doing it first semester online, what would be the impact on the costing? Are they saving, or are they incurring extra cost?
So if they're doing the lectures online, there is no additional cost that the student have to incur, or they have to pay anything extra. In fact, they would rather save on the travel cost, the food, and the food cost and everything. So they can stay in the safety of their home, and they can comfortably attend the lectures online without any additional expense.
Okay, good. What about the admissions? I mean, what do you think are the key factors in admissions apart from the considering or not considering the COVID impact?
So the major key points that the students should keep in mind for the admission process is the GPA firstly. The academics are of utmost importance. With the GPA, the marks of the various entrance exams, that is the IELTS, TOEFL, SAT, GRE, GMAT, is also given a lot of importance. The statement of purpose is an important document that outlines the profile of the student. The work experience that the student has also is important. And besides that, the extracurricular, the co-curricular activities also play an important part in the admission process. So it's basically a collective of all, with the academic marks being majorly important.
I understand. Your voice was breaking, Divya, but I think it's clear now. So a couple of students has asked, ma'am, your voice is breaking. So I think it's audible enough, good enough right now. Anyways, moving ahead with next, there is one important question from visa perspective. What if visa is getting in terms of the expiry, visa is getting expired in sooner time frame? What are options those students have?
So, Vinayak, in this case, most of the universities are giving a visa extension to the international students. But for detailed information, it is best that the students actually get in touch with the immigration's office and the international office of the university for further detailed information.
I understand. Yes. So that's the best solution. You get in touch with the immigration office, and your university is definitely assisting you in terms of extending the visa, in terms of filing the new visas, renewals. Yes, university is assisting you with this thing. Even in this situations, I again got to meet couple of students, and they were saying my visa is getting expired, so university has assisted them, and they're in UK and US right now. We have one question. Yeah. Go
No,
ahead,
so
please.
I was just saying, international team is going to cater to all the queries that the students have. So it's best that they get in touch with them for any kind of queries that they have pertaining to the visas.
I understand. And what about if students are going online for their lectures and for coming intake? Let's suppose it's September intake. If students are going online and for spring intake, if their visa gets refused, what about the cost they have spent on the online education?
So this now really varies from university to university. It is best that the students do go online and they read about the refund policies of the university. If at all there is a visa rejection or the students are not able to attend the lectures online, in that case, the students are given a refund up to 75% of the tuition deposit. But it's advisable that the students do get in touch with the universities.
Yes,
It
it
is
is
very
important to understand the refund policies before you attain or before you join the online lectures. If there is a visa refusal situation, because visa refusals can be on any reason. So we have to make sure that yes, our cost is refundable, or even if it's not refundable, we are good to go ahead with the online lectures. So I think these are the common questions most of the parents and students were asking these days, and uh, I think we have covered most of the questions, and now this is the time to take some questions.
yeah, there
From
are questions.
yeah, I can see there are questions. So Minar is asking us question. Frankly, what are the chances that we will get the admission this year itself? Divya, if you have any take.
So I think, Minar, it is if you're planning to apply this year for September 20, you should get in touch with us. You should start your application process, apply to whichever universities that you want to, get your offers in place. And for now, it is too soon to decide. Once when you have your offers in place, by June, July, we can see what the scenario looks like. And if things have subsided and if things look normal, you can very much go ahead with the September intake.
Yes, and
Anything else that you, Naya?
nothing. We are good to go ahead with next question, and that's the solution. Jiggy has asked us, Jiggy Thakkar, is COVID-19 crisis going to affect for intake of September 2019? So I think Divya has answered the same. The best solution at this stage is to get the admissions, to secure all unconditional offer letters, pay the deposits, and be ready to apply for visa. So as soon as the consulate is running their operations, you can apply. Even if you fail to travel to US, UK, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, Singapore, any of the countries this intake, you still have an option to defer your offer without any cost, so that you're not losing out on offer part, you're not losing out on the deposits you've paid. Those are anyways getting deferred for next intake. So that's the best solution what we have suggested, and rather universities have commented. When it comes to top destinations, they are saying that hopefully uh, they're seeing fall 2020 intake is smooth enough for us. Yes, May intake is impacted, but they're not seeing any concerns in terms of fall. Worst come worst scenario, universities who are starting in August have planned to do the orientation in September. Universities who are starting in September plan to have their orientations by October. So a month delay in the like starting sessions, but they are really hoping to start in September 2020. So the key is to get the admissions and to be ready with all the what say unconditional offer letters to apply for visa. I
You could
think these
even
are
pay
the
the
questions.
deposits rather and be in place to apply for the visa. That's best. And by June, July is the right time to decide whether they want to go ahead or whether they want to defer.
Yeah, and most of our students, we have already given a timeline when we generally make the applications, when we generally secure the admission, what is the right time to apply for their education loans, scholarships, and considering the time frame, what I feel, there is always a buffer of couple of months on the process, and that we can utilize in such situations. So we do not consider there could be a situation of like COVID 2019, some students get delayed on their finances, some students get delayed on their admission evaluation period got dragged up to 4 months, especially in the cases like Canada University applications. But again, those couple of months buffer has really played an important role for us for me, for Divya, and for all the counselor at Ascent. It's because
Yeah.
we can at this stage gauge the situation and try to feed the best possible information to our students as far as fall 2020 intake concerned. Uh, I think these were the couple of questions which are related to today's session, and I think we don't have more questions. Uh, Anything which you feel, yeah, Jiggy, thank you so much, Jiggy. If you have any concerns, if you have any questions, you can still get in touch with us. Just try to browse our website, that's azentoverseaseducation.com, and you will get all the information. You just get in touch with one of our. I think Amey has a question. Let me just read the question. Now that the application deadlines are extended for most of the universities, you think universities would be little more lenient with their decisions? Let me just finish. When it comes to states and Canada, yes, universities have extended their admission deadlines. We can apply, rather. When it comes to US, again, China is a major player. India is number second country in terms of student population in states. What I feel we can still consider, but when it comes to top ranked institutions, when it comes to like good institutions, they don't really bother because for them the quality matters. And if you don't have a profile, I feel you won't be able to get in. What is your take, Divya, on the other countries, or maybe altogether generally?
So, Vinayak, I think as far as UK, Ireland is concerned, they always work on a rolling intake basis. So there's still a lot of time, and it is advisable that the students apply. And as far as I think the question was majorly about, can you please repeat the question once?
Question is, what if the universities are extending their deadlines? Is there any possibility of students getting the admissions, even if they have slightly or maybe a border cases? What we see, what we talk about, they have a very slight chance to get the admission.
I think it's majorly what the student is trying to ask is about the leniency of the admission chances. That is something that we can apply and we can see, and it is difficult to say or no.
Okay. I think, Nikhil, can you ask the question again? I can't see the question here. I'm so sorry. What about Jignesh? Jignesh, what is your question? You said, sir, I have a question.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, we took Jiggy's question. Jiggy has one more question. Are the universities, for example, in the UK, are considering reducing fees with the kind of current fall of economy globally? I think Divya is the right person to ask.
There is no difference in terms of the fee structure. If there is anything, I think it will be mentioned on the university websites. And I think the university website is the right place to refer to any kind of information pertaining to the fee structure. But for now, there is the same fees which were applicable before are being applicable.
Even I don't really think so that, I mean, universities would be reducing their fees, but the benefit you have is to go for online lectures, and you're saving on the on-campus cost, you're saving on the accommodation cost, and there is no, again, effect on your degree progression. Not at all. We have a question from Minar. So frankly, I think we have covered this question. The next is, I guess, Ahsan is asking questions. Sir, if September intake is there in UK? Divya, you would like to answer this?
Yes, the September intake is pretty much.
What about the availability of September intake?
Vinay, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, Divya.
Yeah, so the September intake is very much on, and it is certainly there. For now, the admission process for the September intake is also on. So, yeah, the intake is there, certainly.
Okay. So you're good to apply. I mean, all the universities are accepting the applications, and you're free to do the applications online. As I said, the key is to be prepared. If the universities are taking students for fall intake, we can straight away file the visa application.
For UK, there are some universities who have also extended the scholarship deadline. So if you pay an X amount of deposit till a specific date, you will be eligible for some kind of scholarship. So a lot of universities have extended the scholarship deadlines also. So yeah, the September intake in that regards is very much on for 2020.
Yeah, Jignesh have a question. I think Jignesh, if we enroll for fall 2020 intake, if we enroll for what is the chance for the employment? So Jignesh, try to understand the countries which are providing you a stay back, especially US, Canada, UK, Australia. We are at this stage we are looking at there can be a difficulties in terms of finding the jobs, but after 2022 the things would be back on track, and I'm not seeing any difficulties in terms of getting the employment. It's because we are looking. I mean, we are talking about the situation that could be probably in the month of May 2022, and I'm not seeing any difficulties in terms of getting the employment at all. It's because even if we talk about COVID impact, China has overcome with the situation in like 97 days or maybe 3.5 months, 4 months time frame. So even if I consider the same situation with other countries, even if most of the countries are reaching in lakhs when it comes to infections, but what I feel is good to go ahead with for 2020 intake. You are anyways graduating by 2022 or 2021, and by that time situation would be back on track. No issues in terms of getting the employment. I think we have a few more questions. Yeah, go ahead, Divya, please.
Should stabilize.
Just a minute. We have one more question, I guess. Ameya missed my answer. Okay, I missed the answer about the reforms in the tuition fees. So as I said, Ameya, since you are getting an option to go for live lectures by the universities, what we are looking at, obviously there will be a drop in tuition fees since you are going for a live sessions and there is no on-campus cost involved. Plus you're saving on the accommodation cost. It's because the accommodation cost in most of the abroad countries is expensive than what our home country is. So you're definitely saving on the cost if you choose to go for live lectures. But if you decide to go on campus, I don't really think so. Then you can look for maximum scholarships rather. Teaching assistantship, research assistantship, these are positions available, and those are first come first serve. So if you think you have a credible profile to get those TAs, RAs and GAs, definitely you have a better chance this intake to get those financial assistance from the institutions. We have one more question from Roshni Khanna. That's how is the job scenario in UK considering they have post-study work for students passing from 2020 intake September. Yes, you are right. I think Divya will address this question. Divya will answer this question.
How is the job scenario in UK considering they have a post-study work? So yes, for whichever students are going to go to UK from September 2020 intake onwards will be eligible for a 2 years PSW. And yeah, I mean the universities do help students in getting any job. There are international centers. The international office basically helps the students in every way in terms of resume writing, in terms of skill building. They do give the students a list of companies where the previous students are working. And also there would be companies coming on campus for recruitment. So the students are taken through an entire process in terms of helping there for jobs and applying for jobs and everything. But the students also have to be enterprising enough that they crack the interviews and they do get through.
Yeah, I think that is not impacting. The question was not at all related to COVID, but that is a generalized question because UK has reintroduced a couple of years stayback option, and the question was based on the same. So Nikhil is asking again. Final Nikhil, I have your question. I'm so sorry I missed the question earlier. After taking classes for fall 2020, and then if we fly in spring 2021, are we eligible for CPT, as we have to complete 9 months in USA to qualify for CPT for internships? Yes, as far as I have discussed with most of the institutions, that is not impacting. Your online lectures are not impacting these CPT and OPT options, but still it is better to have a written confirmation from the institutes if they have set any policies or rules and regulations according to SEVP, that Service Student Exchange and Visitor Program, or maybe Department of State. So it is better to have a written confirmation on email. So one of my students got into Columbia University for Mechanical Engineering this year. We got all the stuff on record by writing an email, and they were prompt enough, rather kind enough to reply to our emails regarding the fall sessions, regarding the online lectures, regarding deferment. Surprisingly, Columbia generally don't entertain those deferment of the admissions, but this year they have decided to defer the admissions because of the outbreak of, again, COVID 2019 and the pandemic or public health issues the US is facing right now. So I think no concerns when it comes to CPT and OPTs for sure, but it's better to have a written confirmation from your university or the entities there, the legal entities there. That's the best possible answer at this stage. Thanks a lot, Nikhil. We have one more question, I guess. Will the current situation affect the education loan process? We are in tie-up with private financial institutions. They have gone online. I mean, they are helping you digitally or all the virtual possible mediums to assist you with loan process, and they are delivering those loan letters online. Most of my students are like applying and they are getting the responses. So I'm not finding any difficulties when it comes to education loan availabilities. Divya, do you have any take on that?
No, so I think everybody is operating digitally. So getting through the loan process, it should not really be a problem. They will be able to assist you online for the same. And even as far as the payments and everything is concerned, it is all happening online now. And I think that is the best way for the current scenario.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not seeing any difficulties. We have one more question from Jignesh. I think, Jignesh, why don't you just write an email to us? It's because you have asked the question, can you please help me to choose the university? LIU, that's Long Island University. You got into Post or you got into Brooklyn? Just write an email. Then Stevens or versus St. Cloud State University. Why don't you just write an email to us on hello@ascent.com, and I would be happy to answer you in an email response. The another question from again Ehsan is, as pandemic had affected the business in foreign countries, so jobs will be available for students. Ehsan, I think we have answered this question. Before that, anyways, we are looking for the commencement or the graduations by 2021 or 2022. I personally don't find any difficulties in terms of getting the employment next year. It's because popular countries generally struggle for first 4-5 months or 6 months time frame, and by the time you would be studying on campus, and post that the situation is back on track, and as such no impact on the employment opportunities for students in 2021 or 2022. In most of the countries, like where the program are 2 years, for them no concern at all. It's because by 2022 obviously there'll be a peak in terms of the economy. Thank you, Nikhil. Thank you. You're always welcome. You can ask us the questions. I think you have an access to most of our counselors, so you can just get in touch with us. Thank you, Roshni, for asking the question. Thank you, Jignesh, for asking us the question. Do we have, I think Ketaki has asked the question, will the current situation affect the education loan process? I think we have covered this.
We already covered that.
I think we have covered most of the questions. Still, if you have any questions, students, we are live at this stage. I would like to tell you that don't scrap your plans, don't drop your plans. If your parents are concerned about your university admissions, admits, they are investing so much, they have already invested when it comes to the test, like standardized test examinations, language proficiencies, application fee, courier cost, additional score reports. So your investment should not go waste. So just wait for a while. Uh, we are there to help you throughout the situation. We are more concerned about your health, and we'll provide you the right assistance, whether it is possible to go in September or not. If it's not possible, what could be the alternate options which are favoring which are favoring in your case. That's the best solution we can give you at this stage. Most of our registered students are in touch with us, and we have spoken to their parents, and they are relaxed about fall 2020 intake. It's because they are now aware about the alternates, and those alternates are really working for them. What
And
about the
I think when
scholarship for?
the
I'm so
students
sorry,
are
Adina.
applying the universities, even the universities are giving them information on what the scenario is in each respective country. So when students do apply to the universities, even the universities will give them all kind of information, and they are also conducting webinars to give them information about the current scenario, so that they have all the updated information presently.
Yeah, we have one more question, I guess, from a new joinee. Uh, I think the question is related to what? No, I think from Ehsan itself. What about the scholarship for 12 students? I think 12 students for graduation. So if I'm not wrong, you're asking about the scholarship for undergraduate students. Uh, uh, that has not impacted. I mean, the scholarships are based on either merit-based scholarships or need-based scholarships. So you can apply. If you have a profile, definitely universities are happy to give you these scholarships. We have seen students on undergraduate level getting up to 25% scholarships, up to 30% scholarships. One of my students got a scholarship of got a bursaries for PhD program. So it is all smooth. That has not impacted. If I talk about the admission process, a week or two delay in the decision time frame, what we have experienced the delay on. Rest of the things are smooth enough. No impact on the admissions or rather the scholarships. Again, if you have a profile, if you have a good score on your standardized test examination, definitely you are getting the scholarships. But yes,
Yeah,
as
so
I
I
was
think
talking about
the
graduate
scholarship
students,
amount
it is important for you to apply for GAs, EAs, and RAs in advance so that you can get those additional financial, scholarships or maybe discounts on tuition waivers. Yes, Divya has something to add on.
I was just saying that the scholarship amounts would vary from university to university, and it's best that the students apply. The universities would be looking at the overall profiles of the students, the marks that they have in the 12th standard, and with that the extracurricular and the co-curricular activities. So everything will be looked upon, and accordingly, there are also universities, for instance, who give you a scholarship, especially for undergrad for the first year, and it continues for the second and third year as well. So it is available, and yeah, it varies from university to university.
Yeah, your voice is bit lower, Divya. If you can just look into it. And there is question for you, Divya ma'am. I want to register for IELTS exam. Can I do? Yes, you can do. I think Divya can answer that.
So we do have the online IELTS coaching, and you can certainly register for that. And yeah, we can do the online training. Ascent is the British Council registered training center for the IELTS. So the training can be done online. Yeah.
Yes, so there is all possibility for you to join our online session, and we have a certified faculty assisting students with their curriculum. So it's like a practice session, then a curriculum. We are covering the reading, writing, listening, and speaking part, and then again a practice session or a mock test can really help you to gauge where you have started from and where you are at this stage. So we have again all the facilities available at our offices, but due to lockdown, we are not running the offices. We are doing work from home. Uh, we have given you the option to go online and do register for our online coaching pattern. We have a question from one more student. Is there any information about the impact of September 22 impact on September 2020 intake? We have answered this question, but just I think you have joined recently. There is, as such, there is no information from universities end, but universities have started sending emails to students uh, about the options they have. They have an option to defer for 2021 intake. They have an option to go for live lectures without any loss on their curriculum part. They can cover the credits by going online or for live sessions. And the third part is they are really hopeful to run the batch for 2020 September intake, and we all are hopeful for 2020 intake September, and that's the major intake. Ma'am, my question is, can I book the exam date slot? So yes, you can book the exam date slot. Go to British Council or the other test taking providers. Just go for it. I would like to add something here. Most of the universities in abroad, like US, Canada, UK, has approved Duolingo. So you can go for Duolingo, which is a bit cheaper. You can take the test online, and universities are accepting the scores by Duolingo. So just check online. Obviously, you have an option to go for IELTS or a TOEFL. But if you feel that there is no, test centers are available here in Mumbai, you have an option to go for Duolingo. A couple of institutions have sent me an email stating that due to the lockdowns and other scenarios, we are accepting the Duolingo test.
So, but in case the student, I think Gaurav is asking this question, and if you're keen on doing the IELTS slots for May are already open. So you can register yourself for the May exam dates.
So yeah, I guess 3rd, 8th or 9th of May is all available. You can just go online and check. We have released one flyer at the Instagram handle or maybe at the other social media platforms. Just do scroll about our post on Instagram and the Facebook. You will find the information about what all slots are available. I think 3rd May and 9th May was earlier available, but my suggestion would be to just scroll down and check what all posts we have released on social media platforms for the IELTS. One more question, Divya from Ehsan again. Do we get student visa easily for UK due to current situation or due to current scenarios?
So as I think we've already covered this, that it is too soon right now. For now, you can do your admissions and get your offers in place. By the month of June, July is when we'll have a better idea about the visa process. And there should not really be any problem in terms, if the effect has subsided, then I think the students can go ahead applying for the visa for September intake.
Yes, I think, see, when it comes to a country like UK, you have those extended deadlines by the institutions, and you have an option to apply for express entries or maybe those kind of expeditory visa process. So even if you think you're late on the process, you can opt for those options by paying slightly higher on than the routine cost on visa. So I think when it comes to a country like UK, I don't think so. But when it comes to US, generally people apply 3 months prior. There is a huge rush in consulate. You don't get the visa dates. Then you need to travel to other consulates like Delhi, Kolkata, Chennai or Hyderabad to go for an interview sessions. For them it can be a concern, but I don't really think so. That you have an option to apply. As I said, if you are all set to apply for visa, you can book the dates and get the stuff done. No problem at all. You don't even need to travel to other cities.
Nayak, I would like to add is UK also offers the flexibility of the super priority and the priority visa. So in case if it gets late or, you know, if there is any issue, the students can always go for a super priority or a priority visa so that they can get the revert on the visa early, which could be within 2 days, which could be within a week's time also. So, I mean, the process for UK...
That's what I was talking about, yes. Yeah, I mean, you're good to go ahead with it. No problem at all. I think, do we have more questions? Let me quickly check. No, if you still have any questions, we would be happy to answer. Thank you, Trupti. Thank you, Gaurav, for asking the question. Thank you, Ehsan, asking the question. And other attendees, if they have any questions, we would be happy to assist. Otherwise, as I said, you can reach to us. Just Google for Ascent Overseas Education. You will get all the platforms where we have an appearance on. hello@ascent.com. You can write your queries. We would be happy to assist you throughout this lockdown situation. And I think that's the end of the session. I think we don't have more questions, so we can. Yes. So if you have any questions, as I said, we can go online again. Since Jiggy is asking questions, since most of the companies we would have worked with currently, they are not functioning, hence to get the LOR SIMs difficult. So uh, let's suppose if you are on the application stage, Jiggy, uh, universities are accepting online LORs. So your employer, your supervisor, your team leader can sit at home. They would be getting an auto-generated email from universities, and they can do the letter of recommendation part by sitting at their home. They don't need to go to company. As such, student asked me the question that it has to be on office letterhead, the seal of the office. When it comes to online letter of recommendations, there can be a relaxation on these terms or maybe on these rules and regulations when it comes to online, but when it comes to offline, yes, it has to be in sealed envelope. Uh, do you have, Divya, anything to add on? Because most of my students has done the same tricks and tactics that they send the online request to their employers or their school teachers, and they did the part by sitting at their home by utilizing the online letter of recommendation form.
Vinayak, I would like to add that in case, even if the students are not, I mean, the universities do not have the online LOR process, and if they need the scanned copies, the students can email them information of the referees for now, and even the universities are aware about the current scenario, so they will certainly issue the conditional offers, and the LORs in that case can be submitted at a later stage, maybe in the month of May or June. So that shouldn't really be a problem in terms of starting with the applications for now, at least.
Yeah, that's the good point. I mean, you still can get the conditional offer letters. You can later on, once the lockdown is over, you can later on get the letter of recommendation submitted. That's absolutely fine. If I talk about the next question connected to what you have asked, Jiggy, as I said, there can be a relaxation on the company letterhead or maybe the seal of the company or signature of the company. There can be a relaxation if you're filing the letter of recommendations online. It's because universities have given you the text box there, so you can, your employer or your referee can actually copy paste the entire draft into the text box, and he can digitally sign down there by writing his name and submit that. That is equally getting considered as a letter of recommendation from the official sources. So you don't really need those writing materials for sure. I think that's answered the question. Good to go ahead with it. So thank you very much, attendees. Thank you very much for all our audience to join the session today. And hopefully we are all available online. So if you have any concerns regarding your university admissions impact of COVID-2019 pandemic, we would be happy to address them. Thank you so much for joining us today, and happy to assist you throughout the process. If you have any additional questions, I would be happy to address them. You can write us at hello@ascend.com. Divya, would you like to answer that? It is. I didn't got the question. I mean, if you can just brief up. It is mains compulsory for aerospace engineering for studying in abroad. Okay, you're thanking us. Thank you very much, Ehsan. And thank you very much. If you have, as I said, if you have any additional questions, I would be happy to address them. Just refer our social media platforms. We are at Facebook, we are at YouTube, we are at Instagram. So we would be happy to address the questions. Thank you so much, students, for joining us today. Happy to assist you. As I said, stay home, stay safe, take care. Thank you.
Hi, thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Divya, and thank you all the joinees.
Hi.